Hi friends, welcome back inside for a drink with us. After assembling that gazebo, we really just needed a break.
A very long, cool break.
Cool and refreshing. That is exactly why I'm thrilled to bring you one of my favorite distilleries, my favorite group of distillers, Spirit Hound.
She's not lying. It's her favorite. So, Spirit Hound Distillers is based out of Lyons, Colorado. And they were started by 4 friends with a goal of all malt 100% Colorado whiskey. Whiskey without the E, which I still laugh. I still laugh. Yeah.
There's whiskey and then there's whiskey.
Okay. All right. Yes, I get it. But I still laugh.
Yes.
So Matt, Wayne, Craig, and Neil, they opened the doors in 2012 with everything done on site. The brewing, the fermenting, the distilling, bottling, and tasting.
It's my favorite.
Yes, it's done right there in Lyons, which is different than our last review where it was distilled in Indiana and then racked there in Kentucky and aged in Kentucky. So it's cool that everything is done there in Lyons. Now, of course, we all know whiskey takes time to age. So when they did open the doors, they didn't have any.
Of course not. You
Yeah.
can't have aged whiskey without the aging part. I mean, you can operate completely in a deficit in the red, or you can do other things.
Yeah, that's the other things. This is the other piece to it. So unlike other craft spirits, Spirit Hound Distillers decided not to source initial whiskey from other established distillers. Also, MGP, Backbone. So
A lot of these that we've been reviewing lately, they get their start by bringing in whiskey, bourbon from other sources, bring it in, slap their label on it.
yeah. Which the more that I've learned from those, the more I'm like, yeah. I know it's probably pretty prevalent out there, but still. This meant they needed to sell something for a few years while the other stuff aged. Enter gin. Actually, a lot more than just gin. Now, unaged products are still available today, which White Dog, vodka, gin, Ricardo's decaf coffee liqueur, which we have behind us, yes, and Colorado Sambuca. While they sold unaged up front, they began filling space for aged products, which now available are the straight malt whiskey, which is 100% malted barley, which was their initial goal.
Yes.
Mountain Bum Rum, which I really want to try that in the name itself. Barrel finished gin and Colorado honey, which you're going to talk about because it's the first time that I've actually heard doing this type of partnership. But I love honey, so this really intrigues me. Spirit Hound uses copper stills modeled in the same site and shapes as that of Scotch whiskey. Now, they really clearly have a defined emphasis on local ingredients. Everything from the malt that's grown there in Alamosa to the juniper berries that are collected by mostly locals, and then the elderberries that they use in Sambuca.
And that's one of the things that I really appreciate from a Spirit Hound perspective is they definitely focus so much on the local. Now, going back to that Colorado honey, this is a product I haven't been able to sample yet, but it is whiskey, their straight malt whiskey, aged in honey barrels. So they have a local exchange where they're swapping barrels back and forth with an apiary. So the apiary gets their used whiskey barrels, puts honey in it, lets it age for 90 days, rotating it every single day. And at the end of the 90 days, they pull that honey out of that whiskey barrel and return the whiskey barrel that now has honey in it back to Spirit Hound, where they fill it with straight malt whiskey and let it age.
I want both. I want the honey, and I want to try the honey infused
I want
whiskey.
it all. There are so many products that they have that I have not been able to get my hands on because you can't find it out here.
Yeah.
It's really only available locally from their straight malt whiskey, their mountain bum rum, and the barrel finished gin. I haven't been able to try any of those products. In reality, I stopped in, I think in 2012, randomly. I drove by it, saw the sign, stopped in, discovered it's a distillery. Tried all of the products that I could, and drove back to Florida with a case of liquor. I'm not even lying.
I'm not surprised.
When I went back to visit a few years later in 2015, I did the exact same thing. I'm not gonna lie. And I visited right before they released their straight malt whiskey. So I didn't even get to take that back home with me. That's how long it's been. We need to go.
We do need to go. We need to go.
So both times that I was there, I had the pleasure of meeting and talking with Craig. If you're in the area in Colorado and you happen to be in the Rocky Mountain National Park area, go ahead and swing by Spirit Hound. Lyons is right there. So let me talk now about the gin. Spirit Hound Gin is the gin that got me to like gin.
Which, you know, I'm not a big fan of gin, so I'm very curious as to how this is. We've tried some different gins that I actually enjoy. So this one just really sets you onto that dark path of loving these.
It did.
I'm very eager to try it because I have not tried this yet.
It is my gateway gin. It is the gin by which I rate all other gins.
Okay.
Which you may have heard me talk about it in our last gin video.
Yeah.
So we got a hold of this bottle. My brother was out in Colorado, picked it up for me, and we got a hold of it in May. So I've been doing my very best not to just drink it all very quickly.
Yeah. Now, what about this as far as how they make it?
Well,
that is a little bit different.
Gin can be made from a variety of different styles. You may have heard an old reference to bathtub gin, which is basically they would fill a bathtub with vodka and then dump in all of their botanicals, let it kind of infuse for a little bit, and then strain out a cup or here or there. That would be bathtub gin. Now, Spirit Hound uses the basket method, which they take their botanical profiles, they measure it all out according to their own specific recipe. They put it in a wire mesh basket, and that basket is suspended inside the column when they're actually running the still. And so those alcohol vapors kind of pass up through all of those botanicals, pull flavors out of their botanical blend, and moves on. And that's basically what flavors the gin.
Okay.
It's just full of herby goodness. So Spirit Hound uses a blend of juniper berries, anise, coriander, clove, cardamom, cinnamon, fennel, and freshly zested lemon and lime. Freshly zested.
Okay.
So everything that goes into their gin, they get as local as they possibly can. And it's really on my bucket list. I cannot wait to do this. And we're doing this when we go.
Okay.
If you collect 2 cups of juniper berries from the local area and bring it into the tasting room, they'll give you a free drink.
I'm sold. I'm definitely in.
So the other interesting point that I noticed about their gin is they just won a gold medal this
That's really
year.
cool.
This year, 2021, they won a gold medal at the Denver International Spirits Competition.
Nice.
And in truth, Spirit Hound, when you go to the website and start looking at the different spirits they have available, they have medals left, right, left, everywhere. And I think it really boils down to the fact that they know what they're doing it right, and they're not cutting any corners. So I remember asking Craig when the whiskey would be ready, and his response was, when it tells us. They're not out there aging it for, okay, yeah, it's aged for 2 years and then that's it. They're checking on it. It is their baby.
No, I'm excited. If these have done so well, I'm excited to try the others and see how they are as well.
You ready to give us a pour?
Yes, I am. Would you like to do the pouring this
I
time?
can do the pouring this
Yeah.
time. Give you something that's magical and elusive.
Magical and elusive.
So this gin is very juniper forward. So it's going to have that strong juniper presence in it because they use fresh berries, they use local berries. It's going to smell a little bit like Christmas.
I definitely agree with you on the juniper being very forward.
Mm-hmm.
Smells nice.
They have a very good balance on the herbals, so it's not heavy on the anise, but I can pick it up a little bit on the nose.
It's not too strong. There's no burn on the nose.
Mm-mm.
It smells very nice.
Give it a taste.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers to a finished gazebo.
Yes. Okay. I'm definitely picking up on all of those botanicals in this. It is the berries, all the florals, everything that's with it. It's very light. It's got a great flavor to it.
It's really balanced with the cinnamon, the clove, the cardamom. You don't pick up on any one over the other.
Mm-mm.
It definitely is juniper forward, and that's one of the things that I discovered I love with gin. It's got that citrusy element.
Another thing I like about this is that it's got a great taste, but there's no heat on the front end of it. Once it's all down, and you're like, oh, that's very tasty, then there's a little bit of warmth there. Just a little bit to remind you, yeah, you just had something good.
Yeah, something tasty, something,
Yeah.
Be sitting around a nice mountain campfire, sipping on some gin.
Okay. I can see how this sets you on that trail.
Yes.
This is actually really good. It's a very light tasting spirit that I'm eager to try in different recipes and see how it does. But just straight, and I don't drink gin straight.
He doesn't. I do.
Yeah, this is actually really good.
This makes amazing cocktails. And when you balance it with another herbal flavor profile, like I've got some lavender flavored soda, it picks it up and hugs those new flavors. You pair it with a lime flavored tonic water, or you just do gin and tonic, and it still has the perfect balance between sweetness, herbals, and whatever new flavors you're pouring in.
This is really good. Very good. Thank you for getting me turned on to a different gin now.
We'll have to bring back a whole case of it.
My goodness. Help. Send help.
Watch out, Craig, we're coming.
Well, thank you all very much for joining us for another drink. Hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about Spirit Hound, hearing Dana's tales of how this contributed to her habit.
I wouldn't say downfall.
I didn't say downfall.
Yes, habit.
Habit. Yes, definitely a habit.
A new love affair with
Yeah.
gin.
Well, let us know if you've had any of the spirits from Spirit Hound themselves. Love to hear about any of their others before we make it out to Colorado, which we're going to have to do soon.
Yes.
We really do.
Yeah. I keep saying we're going to have to plan a trip because we are going to have to plan a trip.
Yeah, we got to get out there. Thank you all once again. Have a great day. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. It is very good. Yeah.